Good time, everyone. Welcome to our JCA webinar series, the Journal of Cardiovascular Aging. This is really an exceedingly important aspect of journal, and I'm very grateful to publisher for sponsoring this. And today we have distinct pleasure and honor to have one of the most innovative, creative cardiovascular physician scientists, Bill Poo, Dr. William T. Poo, presenting today's webinar, which is named after his one of most influential mentor, Dr. Kevin Stroll, a pioneer in chromatin biology and structure and regulation of gene expression, will be presenting today's webinar. Before I introduce Dr. Poo, I would like to say a couple of words about JCA. JCA is a new journal, has been around now into 4 years, and I think is coming along very well. And it was just listed in ESCI, which enables all publications to be listed in PubMed and PMC, and making basically its way to all citation journals. We are online journal. We publish it every quarterly, and we are interested in all aspects of aging, from birth of chromatin, Dr. Stroll, to a geriatric age of 200 years. Anything is aging. From the moment the molecule is born, it starts aging. So it's a wide spectrum definition, so we are all into it. And this is the news that I told you. That journal has been now listed in ESCI, which is early stage emerging source citation index and science citation database. We have a very eminent editorial board, which is really the strength of the journal, which is really fantastic individuals. And we're very proud of everyone, and everyone working pro bono, and we are very proud of it. We are in the process of recruiting a new editor-in-chief. My time is up, so we are looking for a new editor. If you are interested, don't hesitate applying. And now getting back to webinars, today will be Dr. Bill Poo will be delivering Dr. Kevin Stroll, PhD lectureship, and it's about cardiac regulatory mechanism in development and disease. I will say a few words about Bill. As I said, really, Bill is a truly innovative, creative physician scientist. He is indeed recognized for his creativity by being named as an endowed position at Harvard, which is named after a very creative, innovative pediatric surgeon as well, on working on heart disease, and that's Aldo Castaneda, who passed away just a few years ago. But Bill really is one of those poster child of science. Forgive me, Bill. And really, in everything, he is exemplary. He went to Yale and then followed by medical school at Harvard. Everything with summa cum laude. At Harvard, he met his most influential mentor, Kevin Stroll. And during medical school, it's amazing. He published 6 original research articles, probably what I have done in my entire life. And therefore, that put him on the planet of science. Recognize him as an emerging, rising star, somebody to be reckoned with, someone who will lead the cardiovascular sciences in the foreseeable future. Following that, he did pediatric cardiology, pediatrics and cardiology at Boston Children. And there he met Dr. David Clapham, and then did postdoc with Dr. Sergio Izumu, which led him to what he is currently doing, and this transcriptional regulation of gene expression, focused specifically initially on GATA4, and did an amazing, really highly impeccable work on GATA4 and its role in AV valve formation in congenital heart disease. As you know, mutation in this GATA4 associated causes those cardiac conditions, and its role in regulation of gene expression network in heart failure. This was, of course, the beginning of his foray into the regulation of gene expression, that followed by characterizing the Hippo pathway, his work on YAP1 is quite remarkable by establishing as a hypertrophic, questionable hyperplasia factor. And likewise, he established EZH2, a PCR2 complex, and moved on to name, I'm not going to list all the transcription factors that he established, but notable among them, I cannot skip talking about, is his work on epicardium, the epicardial development, and how epicardium is a major source of cardiac cells through the publications that, in my opinion, have emerged to be classic in terms of at least role of epicardium in cardiovascular disease. And it's still a reference point for many of us in cardiovascular field anytime dealing with epicardium. And it is truly one of his major contributions. Among the notable, one thing about Bill fascinates me. He takes everything he takes and makes it perfect. I would say his work on IPS, at least Dr. Gerhan and I have been always mesmerized by the quality of IPS cardiac myocytes that he makes. I mean, they are unbelievable. They look like a truly adult cardiac myocyte, at least on the data that we see. It's amazing what Bill has accomplished. And we asked him one time, what do you do? And he said, just routine protocol, just a little love and care and, fine tuning of the, it's been unbelievable. He has used those models and established IPS model of cardiomyopathy and arrhythmias, including CPVT, which is an area of expertise and interest to Dr. Zander Vehran, who is on the panel list. And using AAV9 and CRISPR-Cas9 system, he has really applied these innovative approaches to gain insight into molecular pathogenesis and biology of cardiomyopathies and arrhythmias, and truly an outstanding and notable accomplishment in this regard. His work on Barth syndrome, I would say, exemplary and parallel and surpassed, really. So Bill is funded very successfully. His research grants, his research programs are NIH funding. If you're wondering why you can't get NIH grants, because he has them all. He has 5 R01s and involved in numerous multi-PI and large scale institutional grants, and has been exceedingly successful, including his T32 grants, and is recognized for his mentorship by awards from his institution, from Boston Children, for being an exceptional mentor, and trained a number of people that are scattered throughout the world now. All have become leading scientists of their own. Bill has another important feature before I close this about Bill is really quality of his publications. He certainly has a large number. He has over 200 publications, but that doesn't matter, the number. What it matters is the content of his publications, which are heavy science, solid science, and really highly impeccable. Indeed, this is reflected. I know I'm a little bit notorious using numbers, and I don't believe in numbers, but I tell you, it is very remarkable by the fact that his average citation to every paper he has published about 71, which is quite impressive, which means he publishes quality. He is a quality man, not a quantity man, although his quantity is very impressive as well. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge and appreciate Dr. Kevin Stroll, who has been a pioneer in chromatin structure and transcriptional regulation of gene expression, the person who has gifted Bill Poo to us and gifted the gifted Bill Poo to us. And to that, we are most grateful, and also grateful to the journal for sponsoring this webinar. With that, we are ready to publish your publications. Please send them through JCA way. And thank you all. And Bill, let me introduce the panelists before we go on. According to my screen, I have Dr. Priyantash Gurha. We call him PG, is easier. PG is my closest colleague here at University of Houston. Then I have Bill Zander, one of my closest colleagues across the street at Baylor College of Medicine. Zander Vehran is well-recognized authority in cardiac arrhythmias, ryanodine receptor, and his famous work on that. And I have Roger Fu, who has been a major factor in transcriptional regulation of cardiac development, epigenetic regulation of heart failure, and from Singapore National Heart Institute. Forgive me if I said the name wrong. I get confused there a little bit. You have two institutions there. I mixed them up. Roger, forgive me. Thank you. Roger has been a pioneer in this area. And of course, then Gary, who has done himself really is a notable accomplishment on one of the people who has most characterized transcriptional regulation of heart failure, and including transcriptional regulation by GATA4, which is one of the recognized pioneering investigator in this area. And we're grateful to you for attending. And we are most grateful to have Kevin Schroll on the panel list as well. With that, I'll shut up and have Professor Bill Poo to take over.